Hey everybody, it's George again. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over a way to save money. I was at the store the other day and I got a real good deal on some rice and beans and oatmeal and stuff. Well, I've had it in a bucket and I've got a big old deep freeze outside. I mean a big one. And I've had I put the stuff in 5 gallon buckets and then I put it in the freezer, and it was out there for I think about 3 weeks, about 21 days. And I know I can't eat all this, in a time limit that would be safe. So what I'm going to do is, where I've put it in the freezer today, I'm going to put it in Mylar bags, and I'm going to put some in half-gallon jars, so that when I need it, I can open it up and have it. Okay, right there's the buckets, two of them, of the oatmeal and rice. And right over here, I've got Mylar bags. And let me set you down, get you where you can see. Okay, I'm going to set these buckets down here in the floor so I can get to them a little easier. But I got such a deal on this, I really could not pass it up. And anytime you can get a good deal, be sure you don't pass it up, because it might be a minute for another one comes around. Now, I bought these Mylar bags. It's been a while. I wanted to try them. I've never tried them. I want to see how they work. I think I got them from Amazon, maybe. I'm pretty sure I got them from Amazon. But I'm going to start with some of these big bags and fill them up. Then I will come and fill up some of these smaller bags. These are the medium size. Then there's a little bag here about this big. Now, I did use some of these. I found spices on sale, and I bought them, and I went ahead and put them in these little Mylar bags. And when I dry stuff, like uh, I've got dill outside, I've got parsley outside, stuff like that. When I dry it, I put in these little bags so I don't open up a whole big bunch at once and it goes bad. But that's what I found good for these, and I guess there's other uses for them, but that's what I've been doing with them. They come with these uh, oxygen absorbers with them too, and you have to figure out how many to each bag to be able to get the count right. And that way it'll suck that bag down real hard and tight. And sometimes it may take 2 or 3 days before it gets that bag down tight. I've had to do that. Okay, another thing you'll need. Oh, excuse me. I did not know. Oh, Lord. What a flat iron was. Never heard of such a critter. But I went to Walmart, and that little girl was real patient. I've got another one over there that was a new one from Walmart. This come from my buddy's that was moving, and he said that he didn't need it, and that he was going to throw it away. And I thought, well, I can use it for this. And this one don't have the digital thing like my other one, so I may go ahead and just hunt it real quick. I know it's over here in this box. Here it is. But I do thank goodness for that little girl at Walmart being so patient with me, because I honestly didn't know it was something you flatten your hair with, girls. Y'all just, it makes your hair straight. And when I figured out what it was, I bought one. I didn't buy the most expensive one, but this one has a little digital thing here that tells you how hot it is. and you don't want to burn your bag plumb up when you're sealing it. And so I bought the one that had the little digital trick. Let me get a hold of this cord here. I'll pull it up here where I can get some power. And just mash this button that says on. 230 degrees is the first setting on this one. And that's more than efficient to do these bags. Okay. I'm not going to open these till I get a whole mess of bags done. And that way they don't lose their potency or whatever. They won't suck all the, they ain't sitting out here in the air sucking air when they don't need to be. So I'm going to get them out of here and lay them over here to the side. Now, one thing I did do when I was doing the spices, I put one of these in one of them little bags. And I waited, when I got done, I stuck the 2 or 3 I had left in a pint jar, no, the half pint jar, put a lid on it. And I went ahead, I think the next day I think it was some macaroni noodles in it, used them so they didn't go bad, and it still vacuumed down. It wasn't as tight as it was on the other stuff, but it still sucked the air out. And I got them in the, use as quick as you can area. All right. Basically, you just open these bags up, and they got a zipper inside. Now, on the bottom, see it's got like a stand where it'll stand up. I like to go ahead and push that out with my finger and open them up like that. I got a fan over here blowing on me, but I'll move it so it don't blow my bags over. I don't know. I'm going to say that bag will hold close to 3 or 4, maybe even 5 pounds of stuff. But what you're doing is, this bag here will go up for a while. Now, this is not the quick oats. These are the old oats, the old timey oats or old fashioned oats. You have to cook them for a little bit longer. Now, I don't eat a lot of oatmeal, so I know that I need to put this away for a long time because it may be 2 or 3 years before I eat this oatmeal. So I'm gonna put it in these Mylar bags and save it. Then when I open these, I will put them in a half-a-gallon jar, have them in my pantry, and then I can just open it up and use it as I need to. And if I have to, I can always, throw some more oxygen sensors down there. The oxygen absorbers are down in there. Seal it back up once I get out a half-a-gallon jar full. But I keep a lot of half-a-gallon jars when I can find them at yard sales or anywhere I try to buy them because I use them to hold my food in my pantry. Anything that I buy a lot of, beans and stuff like that. So I don't have mice. Well, everybody gets a mouse every now and again. And if you don't, you are dead city. But I've got 5 cats running right here on the porch. And every now and again, there's a little field mouse to be in the house, and I'll try to get rid of it just as soon as I notice it. And I like keeping things in buckets and jars and stuff, so I know they're not, messing around in my food. Now they come with these little stickers. Now I like to go ahead and write on them as soon as it says here's full, or I don't know if you can see it. Okay, see it's might near full. And what I want to do is make sure that I have enough room to be able to seal this real good and have room for the oxygen absorbers in it. Now, I'm going to put oatmeal on this tag. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it to the bag so when I get ready to start sealing them, I can seal a bunch of them at the same time. So, right here on the front, we'll just go ahead and stick it right there. And I know it's oatmeal. Now, today is June 17th. So I'm going to put right here 6-17-2024. And then I'm going to write below it oatmeal. And that way it's on the sticker and the bag. And I know when it went in that bag. And I'll use it first, or before I do the others. Now I'm just going to set this over here, and I may do 1 or 2 more big bags like that. Then I will do some smaller bags of the oatmeal. But they had a deal at this at one of them wholesale food places. I don't remember which one I got at, if it was in Kingsport or Appalachia, but they have them in both places. And I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they would get upset with me for saying their names. But I go up there a lot and get stuff like this because they're cheaper than some of the big box stores. And if you're homesteading or farming, you try to save them nickels and dimes. And like these being old-fashioned oats, they're not going to cook up in a minute. That might take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And you can do everything with these that you can a regular quick oat. I put these in meatloaf and everything else, and trust me, you'll never know the difference when you put it in a meatloaf. But if you see a good deal on something, don't pass it up if you can afford to buy it, because it may not be there, the next time you're through. And these Mylar bags are a little bit expensive, but the way I see it is, if I spend, let's say, $2 on this bag, and it keeps me from wasting this oatmeal, which I saved $30-40 on what oatmeal and rice I bought together. The beans, I bought a 50-pound bag of pinto beans. And, they're going to get someone putting in these Mylar bags too. And I like to mix my beans. I mix the what are they? The white beans and the round beans, the pintos and the Great Northern. And sometimes I'll throw black beans, whatever I have in there, and do like a 7-bean soup. But I like to mix them, and then I'll mix them in these bags and put them up, and I'll put on there, if it's just regular, what I call soup beans, is the Great Northerns and the pintos, or I'll put it to 3-bean, 4-bean, 5-bean, whatever it is. So if I'm making a, soup, stew, whatever, I can open up a bag if I need to and put some in it to make it go further. And this is still oatmeal. Once again, I'm going to put the label on it. And I'm going to write oatmeal again for the date, 6/17/2024, and write oatmeal on the bag in case the sticker comes off. I don't know. Them little stickers, they don't seem like a lot, but they may hold like the Dickens. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these oatmeal bags. Well, let me do a smaller bag while you're watching. See, these here look to me about like what would be 2 servings of oatmeal, if you. So I'll do one of them real quick and show you that. Now, you can't get your hand down these. You have to kind of just fight with them a little bit to pop open this little stand thing so the bag stands. See how it's circled? And with them, I like to take and it's smaller. I'm gonna hold it over this bucket over here, so if I miss, they go back in the bucket. And really, it's going to hold this and probably a quarter more. So it depends. If you got a couple kids, you might want to just put them in this. Let me tap it down. You might just want to put it in this, and that'd be one serving if if you had a kid or two, or a husband, wife, whatever. I don't know who's doing it, so I'm gonna say everybody. Or this would make enough to do 2 meatloafs. It held two and about that much in that cup. So about two and a third. I mean, it would have 1 1/3 cup. And I'm gonna go ahead and I like to do these stickers as I go. That way, I don't goof around and forget to. I get one of these sealed up, trying to figure out what was in it and goof that up. So I'm gonna do the oatmeal. And then I'm gonna write on the bag the same as I did the other one. It's 6, 17, 20, 24. Now, I know y'all don't want to sit here and listen to me yabber while I'm filling these bags. So I'll go ahead and get a bunch of these bags done. And, when I pretty much get this little table full, I'll drop the oxygen sensors in there and I'll show you the oxygen absorbers in there and start sealing them. So when I get to that point, I'll bring you back and you can see how I do that. And then, I'll put them back in the buckets to make sure that, if there's a mouse does get in the house or, an earwig or whatever, that they don't get in these. And I know now once I get these sealed that they're good for 3 or 4 years at least. I've heard 20, 25 years and all that. I don't know. But I'm not looking for it to last 20, 25 years. If it lasts 2 or 3 years, I'll be good because I will eat it between now and then. But it's just another way of, being able to preserve your food. And then when we get done with this, I'll save a little oatmeal and do a half a gallon bucket of oatmeal with this little vacuum sealer thing. I bought one of them tricks. You put the lid on, stick it on there, and it sucks the air out of the jar and it seals it. And, you said over on the side when you get ready to use it, you just pop it open and it preserves it. But I think these Mylar bags would preserve it just a little bit longer. I may be wrong, but it just seems like the light and stuff wouldn't hit these as bad. And I think I've only got a little bit of oatmeal over there, so I'll do that. And the I've got like a quart of oatmeal, so I'll move it up to half a gallon to be able to show you how I vacuum seal that down. And once you open the jar, you just put a ring back on it and try to use it, so it don't get wasted. Well, I'll go ahead and do a bunch of these bags. When I get ready to seal them up, we'll do it, and then we'll do the jars. All right? I'll get right back to you. Okay, I'm back. I done the oatmeal and rice. I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3 big bags of oatmeal, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags, big bags of rice. And the reason I put more rice in big bags is I use it more than I do the oatmeal. I'm trying to turn this TV down, but I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but give me just a second and I'll get this thing turned down. It always has to mess up at the worst time. Okay, I turned it off. Like I was saying, I don't eat oatmeal as much as I do rice because I like, chicken and rice and different things like that. Rice, I add soups and stuff. When I was younger, all I ever knowed was rice with sugar and butter and cream in it. And we growed up eating that for breakfast, and I got to where I couldn't stomach rice. And I'm going to say it was 20, 25 years I never eat rice. And I met my last wife, and, she got me to try rice with seasonings in it, like, salt and parsley and all that, and I like it. And now I can't eat a little bit of the butter and stuff, but I like to put other flavors in it, but, it was just years I didn't eat rice. Oatmeal, I know there's, making the no-bake cookies and so forth, but I just don't use as much as I don't make a lot of cookies with oatmeal. And most I use it for like meatloaves or like I'll make just a thing of oatmeal in the morning. But I done them more in these little smaller ones. So it's just like 2 servings, so I'm not opening it up as much. And I done some rice in these. There's like 2 servings of rice. But I'm at the point now to where I'm ready to put the oxygen absorbers in there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this open. And on the big ones, I'm going to put 2 in each one. Because so far that's what's worked out good. And I'm just going to use 1 in the little ones. And try to use them all up before I open another one. But where I'm going to be doing more stuff after a while, I'm not going to open up another one and finish these. But what I do is, this one has an oxygen absorber in it. I take and it's got like a Ziploc thing, like your little Ziploc bags. You run it across, and I try to squeeze every bit of the air that I can out of that bag so the oxygen absorber don't have as much to do. Okay? Now, I'll go through and do that, and that way we don't have it sucking all the air out of the environment and just, going to waste. But as you can see, I'm just mashing around the top, trying to get all the air I can out of it. But just run your finger across there. And zip them together. Then when I get them all done, I will run the flat iron across them. I just went in and turned it on again. So I can seal the top of this. And the same thing for the big ones. Just take and zip it across. Just get the air out of it. Whatever you have to do to get the most air out of it, do that. Zip it shut and let the oxygen absorbers do their job. And when I get done with these, I will put them back in the buckets and put lids on them. And put them back here in my storage area. I've got a bedroom where it's just me. I have a bedroom that I kind of turned into a little storage area for stuff like this because I'm single and it just didn't seem smart to waste all that money and stuff when you bought the food. But like this white rice where I need to move it, I'll just go ahead and put it back in the bucket. It says, I didn't mean to drop it or throw it like that, but then the little smaller ones, when you get, like I would put 3 in the bottom of that one. So let me do this one. I'll go ahead and do these and vacuum. Well, you don't have to vacuum right now. You can bring it back up, but I'm just trying to make room on the table where I can get to all of them. But I am not I don't know if you call it a doomsday prepper or whatever. I guess you could call me a prepper because winter will come. Hard times will come. There's times that, you may not have a lot of money one month to buy groceries with because, let's say, your light bill was outrageous or your something on your car tore up. And that's when, stuff like this really comes in handy. And heaven forbid, if something did happen, one of the what they call doomsday things, it'd be awful nice to have this stuff. But that's not the purpose of this. This is so, that I just got a good deal and tried to save some money. And it don't do no good to buy a bunch of stuff that's cheap if you're not going to use it or, try to save it and keep it the best you can. And from what I can tell, these little bags here is one of the best ways to do it if you can, if you can afford to do that, which I found them on sale. If I buy some, it'll be on sale 99% of the time. And I have to. As I've told you, I'm disabled and, where I'm on a fixed income, you got to be frugal, man. I'm telling you. You just literally have to be. And this one here didn't seem to have enough air out of it, Suki, so I'm going to redo it. Okay, now my little flat iron's hot. I'm going to just take it and rub it across the top of this and make a seal on it. And you can see it's together all the way across. And I'll do the next bag. And they have a little tire right below this where you can open it. But I definitely want to get a good seal so that it keeps all the air out and helps it last longer. And I'll continue to do this through these bags to get, until I get done with them. Then I will put them back in the buckets. Then I will go and see. I believe I have beans. I have some more rice. During canning season, I buy a lot of sugar because, with about anything, you use a lot of sugar. And I use a lot of salt during canning season as to making sauerkraut, pickles, and, all that. And if I overbuy, I would be willing to do it this way too. And that, it just gets hard. So you really wouldn't want to waste your Mylar bags, I guess. You just leave it in a bucket. And if it did get hard, just take a hammer or whatever to it, grind it back up to a powder. That one there ain't hard doing what I wanted to do. There it went. Maybe that's the secret. Hold it, slide it. hold it, and slide it. There we go. Now I'll do some of these smaller ones the same way. See how this works best. I'm gonna hold it, slide it up. Hold it, and slide it up. Yeah, that seems to work the best. So if you decide to do some of these, let me do it however you see it. Take and just put your hot iron on there, your curling iron, straight iron, whatever it is, flat iron on there. Hold it for just a second, then pull it up. And see these little metal parts. This here's what gets hot. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the only thing on it that's hot. So you want to make sure that's on your bag. Just hold it for a second, pull it up, and if it don't get a good seal, do it again. There we go. Now I will put all the oatmeal in one bucket and all the rice in one bucket. And with this here, I'm in no danger of flooding. If I flood, trust me, there won't be nobody to watch this video because I'm up on the ridge. And, you know, if you did live in let's say a flood area, or let's say like down in Florida and stuff where them big hurricanes and stuff come in and flood everything, it seems like to me, if you had your food stored in one of these bags, that it would survive because it's sealed. You know what I'm saying? And the water wouldn't be able to get to your food. And you know, when you got back to the house, you had it in a bucket. Which I'd say, if I lived in a place that was bad to flood, I would put this in a decent trash bag. Roll it up tight, tie it off real tight, put it down in the bucket, put this in the trash bag, then tie the trash bag up, in, you know, put it in the bucket, and then tie all that up, then put the lid on the bucket, and that way, you know, the bucket would help try to keep it dry, the trash bag would help keep it dry, and then this here is vacuum sealed, and it should be keeping it dry. And that way, if you did happen to, you know, have some food that you put up, it would be there. And let's be honest, if you put up food for emergency situations, you know, it wouldn't be very good to put it up, then a hurricane or whatever come through and tear it up. Now, if you had a good dairy, you know, even, you know, if a tornado or something come through, you would have your food store still. If it come you know, any kind of weather situation, and if it did come a situation like that, you know, you can share with your neighbors and really be a good help to people. But I'm going to do a few more of these real quick. And then I'm going to put them in the bag. I'm just taking it up real slow so it'll seal it good. But if you didn't want to share with your neighbors, I mean, that's your prerogative if you don't want to. But, you know, at least you know your family would have some. So if you're looking at preppers, if somebody is prepared, you know, it don't matter what you're doing it for. You know, like me, I'm just doing this because I got a good deal and I don't want to lose my food. But if it did come a situation, let's say a big snow up here in the mountains, or I guess a big flood could hit. It did, I think, 76. I think we had a big 75 or 76. It wasn't where I'm at now, by, you know, by miles. But, you know, if it come down, a lot of people got displaced out of their homes and stuff, and you had this to spare, you could go down there and, you know, be generous and help. I guess if, you know, if it hit a tornado or something and took your home and you had this in the cellar where it was safe, you know, you could always stay in the cellar at night. You could get you some kind of shelter. But, you know, your food would be still there. Okay, I believe that's all of them. So I'm going to lock this back into place so it ain't sitting wide open. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off. But as I said, 230 degrees is the lowest setting on this. And I just turned it on that, and it done a real good job of sealing these. I'm going to set them back down in the bucket. I think I can get 3 in the bottom of each bucket, and then I will lay the smaller ones on top of them to get as many as I can back in this bucket. Let's see. I definitely won't be able to get all of it, you know, back in these buckets, because where you put it in these bags, they take up more room. But you know, you may have to do a mixed bucket that's got, you know, whatever you was doing that day in it. And you know, it might not be a bad idea to mix them. That way, if you open a bucket up, it's got, you know, a variety of stuff. It's just instead of just one. But I'm gonna do mine as just one thing. And well, I guess what do I do here? Oatmeal. Oatmeal. Let me make sure I put all these as white rice. I'm 99% sure I did. Yeah, I did. So I end up with 3 big ones in a bucket and then 2 small ones. I'm not going to crowd the bucket because I want the lid to fit on it real good. But I end up with 4 big ones and 2 little ones. And then I'll put the lid on that in a minute. And then on this bucket, I'll do the oatmeal the same way. But now, I didn't seal all the oatmeal because I'm going to be doing some more, and I didn't want to open the oxygen absorbers. And see, there's 3 goes in the bottom. Real good. They just kind of go in a triangle. Mash down the tops. This is oatmeal, so I'll go ahead and stick it in there. But like I may get several the little small oatmeals in the top of this. But put the lid back on it. Put it in there in your pantry, or like mine is a little storage area back there where I got a freezer. I actually moved my washer and dryer back there. And, you know, it's just a storage area where I keep food and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I will look and see if I've got beans and stuff. Like I know I do, but, you know, I'll show you. I do the beans the same way. Everything's done the same way. But I want to do the quart jars here in a minute, or the half-gallon jars, and show you how to do them. And we'll be right back with you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found my beans, and I found some elbow macaronis too. I remember when I bought these, they had them on sale for 50 cents for like a 2-pound box. Well, if you know anything about cardboard, it draws moisture, and moisture will ruin your elbow macaroni. Well, I don't know. I bought enough to fill 2 5-gallon buckets. But I put them in the freezer for the same thing. It was like 21 days. It might have even been a month. It's just I put them in there. When I think about it, I get them out. And then I leave the lids off of the buckets for, you know, like overnight. So if there is any moisture in there, it can wick out. But I'm going to go ahead and put these in bags too. Now, the elbow macaronis, I like macaroni cheese. I use it for goulash, you know, macaroni salads and all kinds of things. And it is something I use quite often. So I'm going to put it in these big bags also. You know, because it is something. Well, even the beans, I eat beans 2 or 3 times a week because, you know, they're cheap and it's a good protein. It's good for you. And they're cheap. Beans are cheap, and if you like them, you I get jaw meat because it's $4, and I can cut it in 4 pieces, and I get 4 batches of soup beans out of that jaw meat for seasoning, and I like that jaw meat after it's been cooked or fried. It's kind of like bacon, but it's not exactly. But it's kind of like bacon. It's just a good seasoning meat, or you can buy that little old piece of meat about that big. It's called seasoning meat. It's a couple bucks. Throw them in the freezer. When you make your soup beans, cut that, throw half of it in there, put the other back in a Ziploc bag, and save it for the next batch. But it's the same steps. Write on it what it is. Put a sticker on it. Write on the bag, and put it all go back in the buckets, and that way this stuff is safe, and you don't have to worry if you've got it. And like during Christmas and Thanksgiving, when sugar's on sale, they do that so you can make all your Christmas cakes and pies and stuff. Well, I take and buy my sugar and stuff in. And during the winter, I buy my jars because they're there, and sometimes they'll have a sale on. But now, most time I buy my jars from yard sales or estate sales. If maybe a neighbor has some that they want to get rid of, or I'll barter for them if I have to. Somebody come up and I've got, let's say, extra cabbages, and they want them. I'll barter for them. I had some extra mater plants, and a girl I went to school with, her and her husband come up and brought me a couple dozen jars because they didn't want to take the mater plants for free, but they took, I think, 48 or maybe even 96 mater plants and left me some jars, and I needed jars a lot more than I needed mater plants. But you know, when stuff's on sale, if you can afford it, that's the best time to buy it. And I reuse these 5-gallon buckets. They're food buckets. I don't use them for nothing else. But like, I'll go back there, and it's in our store, it's in the paint sections where they have them. You can buy the bucket and the lid for $5 or $6. Well, during the winter or during Thanksgiving when stuff's on sale, I'll buy, 7, 8 bags of sugar if I have the money, and I'll bring it in and put in these buckets. Uh, that's just like when I found the oatmeal on sale. I'm not a big oatmeal eater, but it was cheap enough that I bought a bunch of it, and the rice the same way. And with the elbow macaronis, if I catch them on sale, I'm gonna buy that. Uh, I'm gonna jump off here, put these in the bags, and then we'll do the quart jar trick I bought. It seems to work well, and it does vacuum seal it. I think it may even heat that lid a little bit to hold it. But I'll show you how it works. It's a pretty good little deal, it seems like. But let me get this done so I'm kind of caught back up, and I'll come back to you. And now, if my video looks funny, when I normally tape it with the phone setting this way, it makes it like narrow. A viewer said to turn the phone this way and try it that way to see if it'll make it go widescreen. And I'm giving that a try. It may completely mess it up. If it does, I'll know not to do it no more. But I'm going to give it a try. And if anybody don't believe I'm single, the first way to know I'm single is you see that crosscut saw and that crosscut saw, that set of Haynes. If you look over here, there's an old dipper bucket for a whale, corn planer, tater planer, another corn planer. And over here is an old, it's just a can on a stick somebody knocked holes in the bottom of, and you take 7 dust and walk along and dust your beans with. People back in the old days, man, they come up with some good ideas. And I love this old stuff. I've got it through my whole house. I don't have like home interior or nothing like that nowhere. But, it just, I growed up using this stuff. And, it brings back memories looking at it. I've got a backer basket with a backer planer over there, spears, and I've got a couple backer knives. And if you're old as I am, you remember us cutting backer, grading it, tying it off, put it in the baskets, and having to spear it in the field and cut it and all that. Well, when I look at that, that reminds me of when I was a young man, and like my father-in-law, when he was alive, and I had a lot of respect for that man. He was a fine man. Before I got hurt, I would go help him in the backer patch, and I can look at that and think about him too. But let me get this done. We'll do the quart jars next, and I'll try to end the video so it's not too awful long. But if the video is messed up, we're trying something here, and if it don't work, one of the ladies that does the editing said that she can look at my phone and see what's going on, why it ain't making a full screen. Like I said, I'm not a techie person. I can find eBay, Marketplace, Facebook, Amazon, a few things like that. Uh, if it gets into a lot of detail, I got to get somebody else to help me with it. And if it goofs up, I don't even play with it. I wait till one of my kids come in and they fix it. And my son was here yesterday, and he was trying to tell me how to do Bluetooth or something. Man, I don't have a desire to learn all that, just to be honest. I probably have to learn it, but to me, I'd rather do what I'm doing. But everybody was like, why don't you make videos and show everybody what you're doing so they can see it too? And that's the only reason I'm doing it. And I want be able to help others. Uh, I'm not getting nothing I know of financially out of this. I've not seen anything out of it, and I'm not looking for anything. But I do want to be able to show people, how to can, how to preserve, and put up food and stuff. I want to teach you about the plants and stuff, and that's the only reason I'm doing it. But let me jump off here before I get to yammer, and I'll get these put up, and when I get these done, I will come back to you, and we'll do some of the half a gallon jars and stuff. All right, give me just a second, and I'll be back with you. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Uh, this little vacuum sealer, I think I bought it off of Amazon, and what it does is it'll seal these jars without you having to cook them or boil them or anything like that. That camera's crooked. Give me just a second. Okay. Now, I want this jug here. It's got oatmeal in it. And what I want to do with it is, I seen Flour and Mill was on sale the other day. And I use these big pickle jugs. I buy the pickles in them if I have to and eat the pickles over time. But I get every one of these jugs. You can find these sometimes at yard sales for 50 cents, $1. I recommend getting them because you can put, now if you do Flour and Meal, you want to put it in the freezer, the same thing. I think that it's a minimum of 7 days. But I'll leave it in there for longer if I don't need the space. I'll leave it in there for 21 days, month, or when I can get around to it. And that way, it's supposed to kill if there's any little bugs in there. These little what are they called? Anyway, it's a little old black bug. It gets in, your grains. If you do elbow macaroni, spaghetti, anything like that that you're trying to save long term, you want to put it in the freezer for a minimum of 7 days. But if you put it longer, that's even better. Well, now with these jars, what I like to do with them is my pantry is kind of tall. It's got tall shelves in it. And I buy every half a gallon jar I can get my hands on. I like them. And if I find them at a yard sale or something, I'm buying them. What I've done is I put my canning funnel in the top of it, and I'm going to slowly pour this full of the oats. Now I'm pretty sure these oats here are the quick oats, so I'll write that on the lid, that it's quick oats. Okay. Now I'm going to do two. I'm going to vacuum seal one and put it back. And then I will put the other one in my pantry because I don't have no oatmeal in my pantry. And I do want to keep at least, some at hand where if I need it, I can use it. Okay, where this one is full, that'll be the one I vacuum seal. Then with this one, now see, I tell everybody, don't throw these, once you take these lids off where you can before, don't throw these away. I have known people to reuse these and they will seal just like they did before, but sometimes they don't. But what I do is, like where this is going to go in my pantry, I don't need it to seal. So I'll put that on there. It's clean, and every way that lid's clean. And I'll just put a ring on it, and I'll slide it in my pantry, and as I need it, I can get the oatmeal out. I'm big on all kinds of odd jars if they got lids and stuff, different size. Even the little ones that's got the wire, it pops up on top, it holds it down, seals it. Because I don't like the packaging stuff comes in because it's made to spoil your food. If you look at the bean packages, they've got holes in them. Cardboard and stuff will, you let it get a little bit dank, your food's wet. And they used to put everything in a plastic bag inside of those. But if it ain't got that plastic bag, if you look, it's full of air. And air is your enemy on keeping food. So you want to get rid of it. So you have to take it out of their bags and put it in your own. But like this is an older lid. I'm going to try to see if it'll seal on this with this vacuum sealer. And what you do is you put your lid on there. You push this down on it. Try to get it level. And then you push that little button right there on the top. And it counts for, I think, 60 seconds. It might be 30 seconds. I don't know. We'll let it run its course, and then we'll see if it's sealed. If it didn't, I'm kind of new at this little gadget. I'm still trying to figure it out. But now I know it does. The standard mouth or standard mouth and wide mouth jars are supposed to. And when it if you're doing them, I mean, it's a good way to save stuff. Like when I get to where I've used this one, I'll bring this one and put it in the pantry. I'll wash this jar and use it for something else. But I recommend get half pints, quarts, the half a gallons, whatever you can get. And like this, see, it's got that lid on it. Well, if you catch Flyer on sale, let's say it's $1 cheaper than it's supposed to be, it says 82 seconds is what it takes for it to seal. Let's see if it works. No, it didn't. Okay. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure this gadget out. Give me just a second. I may need to get a new lid. Let me get a new lid and see if that's what the problem is. Okay. I'm sorry for the break there, but here's a new lid. Maybe it'll work better. Uh, make sure I get it centered. But see, I'm always trying to save money. Any way I can save it, I try to save it. And, if you buy bulk, of course, it saves you money if you can afford to. Well, there's months that, like, I may not buy, like, I got meat. I butcher a hog and I butcher a beef. I try to butcher a beef when I can. Uh, you, uh, you have that meat, chickens, and I do guineas, chickens. I'm going to do ducks and everything else that I raise. In the fall, I'll put that meat up. Well, when the meat's, here, I have a little bit of money left, and that lets me buy stuff like this in bulk, so I can, put it up and try to save money. And that didn't work either. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's try it down there like that. Maybe I'm supposed to hold it. I'm gonna try holding it this time and see if that helps. If not, I'll have to pour this into a bag and just use these as my. I bought this just so I could try to do this. It seemed like a good way to be able to store some extra, for the pantry, and not have to go and dig in the buckets trying to find something. But if this ain't gonna work, it was just like $18 or something, which $18, and I'll figure out how to use it. Uh, I guess somebody got down here and read these instructions. It might let a man know what to do. I didn't work either. I think I just wasted some money. Let's see. Align the electric mason jar sealer with the mouth of the jar. Press down. Hold until sealer compresses the bottle cap. Uh, well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong or what it's doing wrong. Let me give it one more try, and if it don't work, we'll just say that I'll have to do another video on this because it don't seem to be working. It says to just line it up, push it down on there till it seats. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying. We'll give it a shot here again and see if it works. If it don't, I'll just put this oatmeal in a Mylar bag. I know how that works. And then I'll figure this out. Then I'll make you a video again of, I'm doing something else. Dry can. I do some dry canning too. And we'll go over that. And which now, I do it another way before. What I was done was I would put my food in a jar, turn the oven on like 270, 275 degrees. Put a piece of aluminum foil down in here at the top of the jar, put the lid on it with the ring, and then, the heat would seal it. And yeah, this ain't working. I guess that was just a waste of time. If somebody knows how to make these work, let me know. I didn't get it. But I'm going to just put a ring on it for now. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing these bags. I've got a little bit more I want to do, and then I'll be done. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I hope it maybe helped somebody. If somebody can help me learn how to use this, write it in the comments. And I read the instructions, but there may be some voodoo secret to it. But I appreciate y'all's time. I thank you for coming. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going to try to set up something. I would like to do a like if you've got recipes that's from your grandma, grandpa, whoever, or a way of doing, let's say, processing meat different. Now, I ain't processed meat this year, but I will be this fall when it comes time. Now, I've got some chickens that's a couple months out, but when they get ready, we'll process them. But I'll show you how I can chicken. I can it in different ways. You can do it bone in, bone out, and we'll try to cover all that. But hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you for your time. Y'all have a blessed day. Be good to each other. And we'll see you on the next video.